Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Bloody Bunch podcast number 37. Hi. Today with me, Balfour, with Buddy, and with the lovely Lauren.
Hello.
It's been a while. We went through some changes. I moved. I went to Australia. Movies came out. A lot of movies came out. Books. There was a lot of books that were read. Games came out.
Books exist.
There was a lot to be had within this 3-month period, and there's a lot to talk about. We consumed a lot of entertainment, and man, was there a lot. So we're just gonna recap what's been going on the last 3 months. For those who do know, I ended up moving back to Arizona. That's where I'm currently residing right now, and that's kind of the reason why a lot of the projects have been put on hold. There was a transitional period, and then once I got to Arizona, I actually went to Australia to visit Lauren, and it was amazing. And then I had to come back, and I hate myself now.
And then Christmas.
And just everything has been crazy. But starting out the new year with a new podcast, new episode. And continuing on. So, but going forward, the podcast is going to be hosted exclusively on our site at bloodhaven.com. And you guys can also view it on Apple Podcasts. But, so with that being said, let's just jump into recapping. Buddy, what have you been doing, young sir?
Sorry. Well, how do I go about this? And stop doing that with your tongue. It's turning me on. I mean, what? It's a baby bottle.
We're on a Skype call.
I think. Well, I know I had jury duty for fucking 3 months, or 3 or 4 months actually. Yeah.
Buddy's
That sounds like fun.
I'm not a civil citizen. I got my fucking name called or drawn, and it's like, you know what? Go downtown for the courthouse. It's like, all right, cool.
It shocks me that you've had that, and I still haven't. And there's more people there, and you're younger than me.
Yeah, and here's the.
I've only had it once so far, and I just showed up, and they never called my name.
See, the thing is that I know for a fact I was the youngest one there, because there was people in there that were like at least in their 40s or 50s. Like, anything close around my age was probably, like, a group that was, like, in their early 30s, maybe late 20s.
They were the ones on trial?
No, they were, like, in the... No. Jesus. It'd be funny, though.
I think it's interesting because, the one time that I was there, it felt like everyone in that room is dead. Like, it just...
Yeah.
It feels like everyone is just zombies. They're just like,
That's what happens when you go near lawyers. They leech into every living thing around them and steal all the life out of them.
Mm-hmm. Just like, I drink your milkshake. Anyways. I've been doing that. I've been watching movies. I've been playing a lot of games lately. That's what I know what I've been...
What movies have you been watching?
Let's see what I saw. I was watching a bunch of older movies, like sci-fi films. I can't remember the name of them off the top of my head. I think the one of them I saw was Them. Something with the one with the ants.
Yeah.
Earth versus a Spider, I think it was. That was a weird one. The 50-foot tall woman, and so on and so forth, and like newer movies, like only one new movie, which was The Last Jedi, or like the only one I've seen so far.
So I'm gonna say we're gonna be talking about a lot. We're gonna talk about a lot of movies. Towards the tail end of the podcast.
Yeah, because it's going to get on.
Because, like, movies just alone is going to take a while to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
But what games have you been playing for the past 3 months?
I know I was doing the OG Fallout games.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, those are good. This one called Bomber Crew that took up most of my time. It was an interesting one.
What's the premise?
It's like... You're in this World War II bomber, you have a crew of 7, you have to do stuff, have to fend off of fighter planes, do missions, and you have to worry about your hydraulics going out, your navigation, Actually have to worry about landing and emergency landing. There's a lot of micromanaging.
So, would you say that it's a more in-depth, what's that? It's not Hydro Thunder. What is it? The,
War Thunder?
War Thunder. Is it a more in-depth War Thunder with a campaign, like a storyline?
It's with a campaign, but it has like this, I would call it 8-bit, but it's more of a...
Like 16-bit?
Like a 16-bit, like cartoonish kind of thing.
Okay.
It's not bad, though. It's a pretty cool game.
And where can we get this said game?
You can get this on Steam. Sponsor! Anyways.
Not sponsored by Steam, but...
Hashtag not ad.
Yeah, right? Hashtag not ad. Cool. Lauren, what have you been doing in the past 3 months?
Well, see, my boyfriend came over from America.
Fuck yeah.
Wait, so when did the podcast actually end? Well, when was the last episode?
The last episode, I believe, was like August 17th.
Oh, God. Okay, so I had my birthday. I don't know. I can't remember most stuff. So you came over in November. So it was like mid-November to the start of December. Then suddenly Christmas happened. New Year happened. I went to hospital.
She did have to go to the hospital.
Oh my.
I had to go to the emergency, actually.
Yeah. Want to elaborate on that?
Oh, yeah. Well, no, I haven't finished my list yet. And been playing games and actually gone to the movies for the first time in what feels like months. Yeah. Okay, hospital. So I scratched my eye because I wear contacts, and also I went to see an optometrist, and they said, "Yeah, go to emergency. You have an infection, and you couldn't go blind."
Oh.
Oh yeah.
So
that was a fun
luckily
text message to read.
Yeah, it's like, oh, by the way, I'm going to emergency. Almost literally, word for word, what I said.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so that was fun. They didn't admit me, although they could have, because I had to have hourly eye drops for like a week, which meant that I didn't sleep for more than an hour for like a week. I'm still exhausted, because that was also only a week ago.
That's true. That happened this past week.
I'm going back on Monday to have the last checkup to make sure it's actually like gone. But yeah. But no, otherwise I saw, God, what movies have I seen? I saw Greatest Showman. I haven't seen Last Jedi. I saw Justice League with you.
Honestly, I think those are the only 3 movies on my list.
Yeah.
Well, okay, no,
yeah,
I take that back. I take that back. There's actually a lot of movies. Yeah, I seen a lot of movies. But again, we're gonna talk about that later. But what were your thoughts on the movies that you saw in the past couple of months?
I fell in love with Greatest Showman. I cried through most of it. I am so happy too that we saw that. So I saw that on the Saturday. So I had to go into work for an hour. And then we went and we had like our long distance date and saw the movie. And then the next morning was when I fucked up my eye. So I'm so glad that I got to see that damn movie.
Yeah, right
before I got sick.
Yeah, right before you weren't able to.
But yeah, no, I absolutely fell in love with Greatest Showman. That is a terrific movie. I cried a bunch, and I walked out of there feeling like I could take on the world.
Fight the power.
Justice League was fun.
Really
I felt like air punching like every minute. I'm like, yeah,
right. I'm a superhero. Rah!
What else did I say I saw? I think that was it. Because I said I didn't see Last Jedi. Yeah, so I saw those 2 movies.
Better than nothing.
But otherwise,
didn't we have a movie night?
Oh, we watched a movie. Oh, we watched The Lake House.
Oh God, yeah, that was.
No, you liked it.
That was a good one. No, I
you
said,
just
oh God,
don't like time travel.
No, it's. For the most part, it was an awesome movie. For the most part,
yes.
There's some things where I was just like, what?
Balfour has opinions on time travel and paradoxes, and that movie touched all of those irritation buttons that he has. But otherwise, if you ignored that, no, we're not talking about movies.
other than the time travel stuff, it was actually a pretty good movie. It was a cute it's just a cute romantic drama. With Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock. Which is weird.
It was the first movie.
It's the
first movie they've been in since Speed.
Yeah.
It's my favorite facts about this movie.
IMDb facts. Yeah, it's a weird pairing, but it's done tastefully. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I think they're great.
But we also watched Kate and Leopold while I was over there.
Yes, and I made you watch Moonlight, which we haven't finished, and I made you finish watching it.
Dude,
good guy, Josh.
Buddy, do yourselves a just. If anyone ever asks you to watch the show Moonlight, just don't.
And specifically the vampire investigation drama.
Oh man, it's fun
in a really awful way.
So the premise of the show is there's a vampire private investigator.
Oh my god!
And a
hang on.
I hate it already. I hate it already.
He's a private investigator. He just happens to also be a vampire.
I hate it already.
That's exactly what I just said.
No, it's not the same thing. It implies he's investigating vampires.
He is a vampire who is a private eye. Am I wrong?
Okay. I already hate it. I already hate it.
Anyway, so there's also this journalist who
works for a trashy online
tabloid place.
Thing. Yeah.
She stumbled upon him in these various situations. And fast forward to the fact that she ends up finding him bloodied up, and then he's like, "Rah, I'm a vampire, rah," and she's super intrigued. And then there's a romance thing going on, but she has a fiance who's the nicest DA ever.
Spoilers: he's not her fiance. She doesn't find out about that till he's dead.
Spoilers: he's dead.
Yeah, good guy, John.
So, that was a really good character. He was an awesome character. He was a fantastic boyfriend. This girl is a bitch for cheating on him.
Yeah, no, every other character in the TV show except the main chick is fantastic.
Yeah.
And we also decided we've come up with our own premise. And we're not actually going to, but we could absolutely make a story based on everything we would fix about the TV show.
Oh my god, yeah, because, man, there was really cool aspects of the show.
Elements to it.
But, man, the rest of it, the 90% of it was just bad.
And you didn't even get to my favorite episode.
I'm sorry that I watched, 8 episodes? I'm sorry, no, we watched, freaking 12 episodes.
Yeah, so there were 2 more episodes left on that disc, one of which is my favorite episode, and then we've got the last disc to watch.
It's rough, man. It's rough. And don't get me wrong, I understand why Lauren likes it. It's just trashy. It's so bad it's good type of thing. I totally get it. Not my thing. I sat through it because I was like, she likes it. I'll try to like it. I tried really hard, but
you got into certain characters and plot lines and which is it's all you want out of a TV show, really.
Yeah. But and audience, never watch Moonlight.
Unless you're totally into the vampire thing and you want something a little bit more modern, go for it.
Okay, so all you trashy Twilight fans, go for it.
No, I hate Twilight. Twilight's shit. It's better than Twilight. Are you actually going to argue that fact with me? You hate Twilight.
I'm not going to argue it.
You should have seen the face he was just making at me
then. I'm not defending it. However, I will say they're probably on par.
I hate you right now. How do I leave
How do I live with you?
But yeah, we also watched Kate Leopold, which is another time travel thing, which it didn't annoy you as much. They explained enough about how the time travel worked to just gloss over it.
The only reason why I was a little upset with it is because there was no need to show her in the beginning. The reason why there's no need to show her in the beginning is because her character doesn't make an impact in that specific scene. So, if it showed her during that reveal at the end, as a beginning, would make a lot more sense as a story, as a linear story. But because he's here in the beginning, it's it ruins the adventure to get to that point in my eyes. That's why. But
it would make the reveal at the end of holy shit, you've already been back. you've already been there. I think that wouldn't translate as well because they're showing the photos and they're like, but when was she there?
No, like, but that to me, that's more of a, like, as a concept grabber. It's like, holy shit, like, how is she there? How does she get there as you're going through the story? That was it for me. Like, I liked the movie overall. To me, I felt like that beginning scene, she didn't need to be there because there wasn't a reason for her to be there.
No, I think I have to disagree with you. I think the reveal at the end would have just confused. Well, the problem is that the reveal is like the last 5 minutes of the movie. It's literally, by the way, you have to go back in time. She arrives back in time, and then everyone lives happily ever after. 5 minutes. So I think the ending would have been way too confusing without at least hinting beforehand that she'd already been there. Like, even if she was like that out of focus person in the background, if you didn't literally bump into her at the start.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, that specific scene of them running into each other shouldn't have had. Like, I would have edited it out. Just edit it out.
But I still think they had to show her in some fashion being in the past before getting to the reveal.
Which is fine. I mean, they could have done that in like a picture model. Anyway, but yeah, Kate Leopold, cute movie. Hugh Jackman's amazing. Hugh Jackman is
everything
man.
Is amazing. Yes.
So go watch that.
Otherwise, yeah, I've just been playing games. Finally started playing Hitman with you. Discovered I love Hitman.
Dude, Hitman is such a fun game. Like we're talking about the new Hitman, which is available on. I'm pretty sure it's available on Steam and PS4 and Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys haven't yet, I highly recommend you guys play it. There is so much game in this game. I personally can't ever play an episodic game, or like game that has like episodic.
It comes out in it, yeah. I mean, but now it's all out.
Yeah, and now it's all out, which is the reason. Like, that was my thing. Is like, I'm waiting for this to release as a whole. That way, I can play the entire game. And I'm so happy that we did it that way because it's so damn good. I'm not even halfway done with the game yet, and we played for hours when we were over there.
Yeah, we played for like days on end, and we didn't even finish the second episode. Like we played to completion the first episode. Well, or almost. We haven't even finished all of the challenges in that. Anyway, yeah. We got all the achievements for it.
Oh yeah.
And then I think we got through at least the main plot of the second episode. Hadn't done any of the, at least by the time you left Australia, hadn't done any of the additional content or anything like that.
Oh yeah, we haven't.
I think we jumped ahead and started episode 3 just because there was so much left to do.
Yeah, there's a ton of games. So this is one of the few games where I'm like, it's totally worth the $60. I think it might be less. Like I think it might be $40 now, but it's totally worth the money. Plus, the developers that developed the game actually got the license for it to be. Yeah, they actually have the rights to create more. So they just, I think when I got over there, like a month prior to that, they had released like a new episode or something like that.
I think that was the landslide one because that seems to be the newest edition. And that's the thing, they keep adding, even though all of the episodes are out, they keep adding new content. Sorry, I did air quotes then, which is ridiculous for a podcast. They keep adding more stuff to it. It's still based in all the same areas that you go to, but like they have the elusive target system, which one's just dropped now and is available for 9 days, and the idea is that they introduce new targets and therefore it's the same world that you know and are used to, but you have to figure out new ways to kill them, learn their route around the city or building that you're in, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it's a very fun game that really relies on you learning the environment. And that's what I love about it. It's like, it's a lot of trial and error. And the cool thing about the elusive target is once you get to the elusive targets,
they're a step up from the normal game.
Yeah,
they're harder.
It's
at least for the parameters.
It's a challenge because in the normal game, they kind of babysit you with letting you know where the targets are and how everything works. But with the elusive targets, you have to find your target. You have to figure out what they do and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. Just go buy the game. It's fucking amazing.
And the elusive targets are a one shot. You have, unless you completely quit out of the level before you've killed the target. If you fail, that's it. You're done. Yeah. You cannot give it another try. If you killed him, you can restart up until the point where you've killed your target. As soon as you kill your target, too bad.
Yeah,
you can't restart from that point.
You have to finish it, or you lose.
Or you lose.
I think it's kind of cool. What else we do? Well,
went
to the zoo.
While
that was cool.
Yeah, I took you to the zoo.
Dude, the Perth Zoo is huge.
Which shocked me because nothing in Perth is.
And I thought it was funny because while I was over there, like we're talking about going to the zoo and everything, and Lauren's like, "Oh yeah, it's just gonna be a few hours," and I'm just like,
I can get through my zoo in 2 hours.
Because you have selective viewing. You're like, I've seen you. I've seen you.
No. I do the entire zoo route 2 hours.
I'm sorry, you're right. Lauren does this. She goes, yep.
I am not so callous. Thank you very much.
Great word. That's the word of the day.
Thank you.
But no, it was awesome. We got to walk the dingoes.
Yeah.
So beautiful. Oh my god, dude.
Its face. But their behaviors are so dog-like. I mean, I know, yes, they are dogs, but they're not domestic dogs, so
But they're so wolf-like, and it's so I love
the closest thing Australia has.
Yeah, but they were so pretty. I loved them. We got to feed them. We got to touch them. We got to take pictures with them. I took a lot of pictures.
We got lots of cuddles, and so the idea with the at least at Perth Zoo, they, as much as possible, they take the animals out of their enclosures around the zoo. So like our elephants have their own walk around the zoo property. The dingoes. So the close encounter that we went to was we got to be there for their morning feeding, for their walk around the entire zoo premises, and then we got to sit in their enclosure and take photos with them and stuff like that. But their walk was literally, they come out of their enclosure on dog legs and they choose where they want to go for the day. So because of that, we got to have a, I guess, exclusive tour of their admin buildings, their marketing buildings.
Yeah, we went
all these areas that you wouldn't normally be allowed to go to, and that you wouldn't think a zoo would allow their animals to walk through. But everyone, and it was funny too, because everyone in the admin buildings was so excited to have the dingoes coming in. They're like, "Oh, this is the best part of my week. I missed you guys. I haven't seen you in forever." And yeah, it was very cute.
It was a lot of fun. It was perfect. Dude, and their orangutan exhibit is fucking insane. It's gigantic.
It is huge. They rebuilt it a couple of years ago. You can still see, I showed Balfour, the remnants of what used to be their enclosures, which were basically pits.
And but it's also funny because it's not like, so they made an entirely new enclosure, just on top of what was already there.
On top of what was there.
They didn't even redo it. They didn't take it down. They just opened it up. Yeah. It was like, all right.
But yeah, they've got metal trees. Again, I did air quotes. I got to stop doing that. But they can climb.
Still see you.
You can, but they can't. And these locked boxes that they have to puzzle through and figure out to get food out of them. It's like the best we can do in a city environment, far away from their natural home.
But it's actually really cool because the way that the zoo is set up, it is in the middle of the city. But when you get to the front, it's like going into a different world, like because of the way that the trees are set up and everything. It looks like you're in a paradise, and it's awesome.
The tree cuts out any of the city noise.
Yeah,
so you can't even tell that's where you are. Yeah.
Yeah. So we went to the zoo. That was fun. I missed the ravens. The ravens were like awesome. I miss that noise, man. There's crows everywhere in Australia. Well, Perth.
They're kind of a pest, actually.
I love them.
No, I don't mind them, but it's annoying on Wednesday mornings for me, which is bin day, because there's rubbish littered through the streets because they open people's bins and pick through them.
Oh, smart little buggers.
Yeah, they are. No, they're incredibly smart. We ate lots.
Dude, we ate a lot.
I took you to different places.
You did.
You had kangaroo.
Awesome. I had kangaroo, and it was amazing. It was so damn good.
Was it like legit kangaroo?
Yeah. Well, it was rissoles, but yes, it was kangaroo meat.
Dude, it was. It has such a nice flavor. It's so good.
And it's quite lean too, so it's good for you.
And we had. Oh, I made sushi for Lauren.
You did. And you made...
So there's a funny story with the sushi thing. So we went to the grocery store. Actually, it's a funny story with the grocery store in general, but I'll kind of go back and forth. So we went to the grocery store and we got, like, you know, the sushi rice. We got the bamboo roll and everything. Seaweed, whatever. And we had gotten it, like, maybe 4 days before we were actually going to do it, because I had also made tacos over there, which that is a funny story. But, so the night that we were making sushi, you know, we're getting everything ready, and we're just looking around, and we can't find the bamboo roller. Like, we can't find it at all. Like, as if we just never bought it, which is insane.
And we definitely did, because I keep getting reminders on my phone now of, hey, this item that you've previously bought is on special. I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, so, like, it's on the receipt. She's getting email notifications from it, but we just couldn't find it. Like, we went through everything. We went to the car, went to the room, went to the kitchen. I checked under the sofa. I checked everywhere. It's gone. So
the only thing I could think of is we left it on the cashier, not the cashier, the counter.
No, because we wouldn't put it anyway. So I, instead of getting the bamboo roller, we just used a placemat to roll.
Yeah, I have fabric placemat. So I was like, will this do? And you're like, I don't know, maybe. It turned out fine. I was happy with it.
Yeah, she was scarfing them down. She was like, nom, nom, nom,
nom, nom, nom.
So
I tried wasabi for the first time. I don't mind it, but gosh, it's bitter.
She might have had a little too much wasabi. Would you try?
Yeah, well, you were like, hey, just like put the tip of your finger on the end of the tube and just taste that. I did exactly that. Still too much.
But it was cool because for those who don't know, like traditional like sushi with just like the bed of rice and the fish on it. Typically there's a wasabi like smear on top of the rice before they put the sushi on, and that's what I showed to Lauren, and she loved it because wasabi has
as soon as the flavors were mixed through, it was great.
Yeah. So we had that. Man, Australia's weird. So I made tacos for her parents, well, for her and her parents, and buddy. All right, so you know here, most Western grocery stores in the United States. Where do you typically find, like, tortillas?
There's, like, a little section by, It depends, because usually you can find the tortillas kind of like they'll have their own section near the spices area, but in other stores, it's different. They'll have, like, a whole section of nothing, of, like fucking Mission, Don Julio, and all this other shit.
So typically it's, like, the gravy stuff, right? Like, the bread...
Yeah.
The flatbread.
Yeah.
And then tortillas, right?
Usually, yes, yeah.
Australia has no idea what tortillas are.
I feel I have to defend ourselves right here and say we also have very little Mexican influence here.
Oh, yeah. Very little. Because...
So, I could just imagine, like, you ask them and they just look at you like, sorry?
They probably also say tortilla.
Oh, God, yeah.
I don't care.
So because we're making tortillas, I needed like the corn Mission tortillas.
Ones.
Yeah.
Did you have white ones?
What?
Whatever the flour ones were.
The flour ones.
But,
yeah.
So they have flour like.
We call them wraps.
Yeah, because they're like thicker, so they're kind of like pita bread. Like the thickness of pita bread,
okay.
But like the size of a large flour tortilla.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they're not as big as we have pita bread and we have wraps. They are different. They're not as thick.
Anyway, totally
I'm
not what I'm
defending
looking for.
You're dissing my country. I have to defend myself.
Totally different thing that I'm looking for, right? So I'm like, shit. Like, how are we gonna make? Like, there has to be corn tortillas. Like, there's no way that this country does not have corn tortillas. So I go to like the international section, and man, do they have every stereotypical Mexican food ever. Like the Mexican packaging. They have like the alpaco sauce with the duck in the front of it.
Yeah, no, the two brands we have are Mission and yeah.
Yeah, so like
and also this was in a single rack.
Yeah,
it was like one section.
They have, so I was like, all right, well, we need beans, and they have the fucking Rosita, the Rosita,
Rosita
beans. So I was like, wow, this.
So we had exactly what you were after.
But I was like, wow, like it's just one column of.
I
felt like it was like one column of my heritage.
I bet you would have been a fucking trip if there ever a point in time I go to fucking Australia. I would have go at like fucking so East LA. You would not fucking believe. Just fucking like button up two right here with the long sleeve shirt, just like trying to find some rain bands and shit.
Vato, the tortilla.
Oh my god!
You will. I feel horrible because I feel awful to say this, but you will get looks. People will be confused. They will probably be worried.
It's like, yeah, there's this guy there. He's saying some dialect. Like, I'm speaking East LA. What do you want?
It'd be awesome if I was there too, and then I just met up with you. I'm like, hey, vato.
Okay, well now we have to do this, and it will be recorded and put online somewhere.
Yeah, we'll make a video of it. It'll be on our website. But yeah, no, that was funny. But I also made Spanish rice for Lauren. So I got a recipe. Yeah, I have a recipe from my mom, who she got it from my via Fina. But I altered it a little bit because there's an ingredient that she puts in it that I don't like. So we had changed up the recipe a little bit, and it turned out delicious. Like, it's honestly one of the best Spanish rice I've ever made. So hopefully you make it more for yourself.
Just rewind just a second. I'd like to point out that we did actually find some corn tortillas. They were there. Yeah. We did have to dig through a shelf. There was literally more of the flour ones. He's like, I don't want these ones. We picked up a packet and it was underneath that packet.
Yeah. It was like the thick, soft flour tortillas, like the thicker ones. It was missions, but it was like, I get the fuck out of here. Like, I love flour tortillas, but not those ones.
There's something specific for tortillas.
Yeah,
I've it's weird because like I love flour tortillas. I hate like
bread.
Taco Bell flour tortillas. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, they're like super thick. They're super like
they're like mushy.
Crumbly.
Yeah, like it's just weird. Like, I like the nice thin tortillas. Like, that's a nice tortilla.
Well, actually, funnily enough, when I made that sweet potato naan bread the other day, same problem. It was because I don't have a roller, which I need to correct immediately. It was too thick, and the middle was like doughy.
Oh,
so yeah.
That didn't cook all the way. But yeah, no. And then we had dinner a couple of times. Well, we're still talking about food.
Mm-hmm. It's just important. I took you to a steakhouse.
You did. It was awesome. It was delicious. What else did I do?
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. It was nice. Well, here's the thing. Like, I know a lot of people were like, "You were in Australia. Why didn't you travel more?" Listen, I don't get to physically be with my girlfriend a lot, so go away. I had fun.
Yeah, exactly. No, that was the problem I faced as well. People were like, "Oh, you've got to take him here, and you've got to take him here. He's got to see this thing," and I'm like, "Yeah, but I kind of just want to spend time with my boyfriend after 8 months." So yeah, so we did a lot of lazing on the couch, eating snacks and food. You brought graham crackers over, but yes. You brought graham crackers over, and not once did we have s'mores, but we did have fruit smoothies, and we ate them with graham crackers.
Yeah, it was.
That sounds like an interesting combination.
Dude, it was delicious.
It was so good.
She makes this like blueberry
that fruit smoothie thing,
like puree ice cream thing for breakfast, and so she's just eating it, and I was like, ice cream, graham cracker. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's no ice cream in it, but yeah. I mean, it was essentially like dipping a graham cracker in ice cream, I suppose, except fruit because it's delicious.
It was yummy.
Surprisingly,
she and I actually ate relatively healthy, like because
besides a couple of times we went out for dinner,
just because like I personally I try to eat as well as I can, and it worked well with Lauren. Like, I don't know, it just worked. I don't know what else to say. It just worked.
Yeah, I mean, that's our relationship. I don't know.
It wasn't like your types, the way how your appetites work, they weren't like clashing. They were able to connect.
Yeah, it was really nice. So I miss Australia. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful country. If you guys ever get a chance to visit Australia, please do. Even if it's just the East Coast, do it.
Because you'll probably end up going beautiful. To Sydney.
Holy crap! Mm-hmm. Like, dude, I was just in the airports and just looking outside, blows your mind.
Yeah, I mean, that's the good thing about Sydney Airport. You get a fantastic view of, especially from America, of the Sydney Harbour Bridge and the Opera House as you're flying in, as long as you can see it, obviously.
Yeah,
and yeah, Melbourne City Centre is amazing. You can get everywhere on foot. So if you're gonna see either of those places, go nuts.
Australia, you get a thumbs up from me, especially now that between the last podcast and this podcast, you guys got that yes vote to pass for.
Heck yeah! And now it's in effect.
Booyah! Yeah. So go Australia for being progressive, because man, the United States fucking blows right now.
And I mean, come on, you guys, you say that, but at least you guys got there before we did. And everyone reckons, oh, Australia is so forward thinking. Like, no, we had to have a popularity vote to see if they wanted to bring in same-sex marriage.
I would
before they even voted on. I would still
prefer to have your prime minister over what we got.
Hey, so would I. That's why I'm over here.
So, this is my announcement. I am officially moving to Australia to get away from you guys. No.
Take me with you.
Oh yeah, I welcome. I'll be your new Statue of Liberty. I'll welcome everyone in.
And instead of like a torch or whatever, it's like I don't know what it'd be.
So it's my arm up, and there's just a koala bear like.
Perfect. And koala's just like, how the fuck did I get here?
But yeah, so no,
that actually
awesome. And then
that reminded me of something really awful I saw in the news recently. Actually. I probably someone had nailed a dead koala to a gazebo, which is disgusting.
What the fuck?
Yeah, no, they're like everyone's up in arms about it. Except it was a really quiet story, so I wish it was advertised more.
Like crucified?
I mean, if you imagine a koala holding onto a tree branch.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It looks like that, but in someone's, like, or it was either in someone's backyard or it was in, like, a park or something. Because it was definitely, like, it looked very...
Fuckers.
Yeah, I mean, like, a person would think...
thing in the world! Holy
they sleep.
Shit. They're adorable, but it's like they're like a little ball and they're just like they look so
they're
content.
A big fuzzball.
They're fucking adorable.
They're like introverts of the animal kingdom.
Yeah.
No, they seriously are. Although if they can be bothered, they could fuck you up because they have really sharp claws.
Yeah.
They also have diseases to fuck you. But anyway. And you got to see Tasmanian devils, which you were shocked that they don't look anything like the actual Tassie devil.
Well, because like typically, when you make a character based on an animal, they genuinely have the features of what it is. They just said fuck it with Tasmanian devil and just went legs, give him weird teeth, and he's brown.
I mean, they do have weird teeth. He's brown and he's huge, and he goes wow. I mean, they are kind of aggressive, so they got that bit down. But yeah.
Yeah, no, that was awesome.
Yeah,
Australia, you're a beautiful country. Also, A+ on the way you guys do it. Jesus fucking Christ!
Where did you pull that from?
I have a $10 note here because I love the way Australia handles money. I love the way.
I just like.
I love.
Here's what I said earlier.
I love the way exchanges happen there. They're amazing. America, get on the fucking ball with your bullshit plus tax advertisement. Just give me the amount that I'm supposed to pay you, and everything will be fine.
The way you guys handle money seriously boggles my mind. I mean, besides the tax thing, I can't. Everyone there must be amazing at maths. One, because of Tim.
No.
And 2, because you have to go up there and go, okay, so this thing is $5.80. What's the tax on top of that? I have to pay at least $7. I don't know.
This is what happens, and I guarantee you, most Americans do this. I got $10. How much is that? 11? All right, I'll take $15. Here you go. That's what happens. That's what happens. People go, all right, I have this amount of money. This is just like $1 more. All right, I'll just make sure that I have $15. That way I don't have to deal with the tax. Just give them money, and then they'll give me the change. There is a very small percentage of people who go, let me calculate this. Okay, tax is 9%. All right,
there must be an app for that, right?
Oh, I'm sure there is. It's called a calculator.
You know what I mean? Like, that can do per state. It's like, I'm in California, therefore the tax is this much. All right, it's this much dollars.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Because the other thing is that your tax isn't equal across all states. What the fuck? Anyway, but no, like, I could just walk into a shop, something goes, okay, this is $9.95. I know that I only have to hand over $9.95. Actually, in fact, I don't even have to hand over $9.95 because everywhere that I go to, you can pay by FBOS or credit card or PayWave, which is amazing. And you guys don't even have that yet. You got confused when I gave you a card with a chip in it.
Okay, to be fair, at the time, I wasn't used to there being chips on a card.
Did you say that? It's been here for like... Okay, I've never had a card that have a chip in it.
You say that you've had it for a while. I am telling you, America is slow. And they're still like, hey, you still got to sign for your shit. It's like...
But America is the greatest place in the world.
Yeah, all right.
And yeah.
Sorry.
I want to just...
punch everyone that sounds like that.
Yes.
But yes, and yeah, we don't have paper money. It's actually printed plastic, I suppose. So if you wash your money, you don't have to panic.
So pretty. Look at this.
Also, that's not even, no one can see this, but that's not even the newest note. They actually redesigned the $5 notes.
The new
and they have a clear window in them.
Looks so pretty. I freaking love them. But I had to take home a $10 bill because it's blue. So, I'm sorry, a $10 note, as you guys call it.
Yeah, no, we don't call them bills.
Yeah. But yeah. So,
I mean, we call 20s lobsters and 50s pineapples, but that's about as close as it gets.
Fuck?
Just because they're coloured, that's it.
Because of the color coding?
Yeah. And even then, that's not common. It's just that, like, it's, people won't refer to them as that in normal conversation, but they know it's that.
But yeah, so anyway, Australia, you're amazing. I can't wait to be inside of you again. I'll be there soon.
Yeah.
And then,
let's get off the subject.
Freaking, I read a lot. I read so much between this time. I read through The Princess Diaries. I'm sorry, The Princess and the Bride.
I was going to say, no, you didn't.
Oh my god.
I picked it up at Target, and it's like I think it's like the 25th anniversary or something like that of like the actual story and everything. It's such a beautiful story. Do yourselves a favor. Go read The Princess Bride. God damn, is it a good book. It is a good story. If you're too lazy to read, I'm sure they have it on Audible. If you're too lazy to listen to something, I'm sure just watch the goddamn movie.
And there can't be anyone that's never heard of it. The idea is inconceivable. That was a dumb reference. I was literally sitting there the whole time you were talking about it, just then trying to figure out how I could slip that in. Anyway.
But yeah, so we watched Justice League, and man, I loved it. I know a lot of people, one, didn't see it. You can tell unfortunately by the numbers. And two, criticized it a lot because they took it in a different direction. Because of previous comments of the other movies.
Yeah, because of previous reviews, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not even going to get into that. I'm just going to get into the fact that I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was awesome to see all of these DC characters, live action, come together to fight a bad guy and just kick ass. Like, it's just...
Definitely the best Barry I've ever seen.
It was a different Barry.
I loved it.
I'm not going to call him the best Barry because it was a different...
I said I've seen.
Well, fair enough. It's a very different type of Barry Allen, but it's important for this Barry Allen to exist because of this movie. Specifically, that the tone of the movie is very important for his character to be written the way it was. I know a lot of people hated it. I personally liked it. I don't know. I really liked the movie. I can't wait for it to be on DVD because I'm gonna order that shit. Like, if I could today.
I don't know if this will be surprising to people, considering how much I love my boy Clark, but I didn't particularly like Superman in this movie. I will say that.
That was a surprise.
Yeah, no, I totally get his confusion when he came back.
Spoilers, by the way.
Well, yeah. We said that. Also, according to you, it was obvious that he was going to be in the movie.
It was. Because how do you have a Justice League without one of the Trinity? You don't.
Yeah, anyway. Yeah, no, and he was ridiculously overpowered, but that's fine. He's Superman, I suppose. Yeah. But I don't know, he came off really cocky and
hey, that's
mean.
That's okay because your boy's gonna get a solo movie coming up, so you get Man of Steel too. So maybe this will alter the way that you see him.
Well, yeah, I wanted to see more of him working at the Daily Planet. So
yeah,
I kind of hope they'll slip that in somehow.
I don't know how you can do that.
I don't know if they can bring back Clark
over
Superman, but I don't know. It would be nice if they did. But that's also just me because of my preference for how Superman stories go. I just prefer Clark Kent's life. Yes, I am. So, but yes.
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah, super exciting. I'm super excited because Man of Steel 2. I think it's gonna come out 2020. I think. But we're going to have a Batman film. We're going to have a Batgirl film, which I'm kind of on the fence of right now because just the way that things are being talked about. And then frickin' Amanda Bynes was like, hi, I want to be Batgirl. And I'm like, bitch, stay the fuck away from my girl Barbara because I will fuck you up.
She could do it.
Nah, no.
I don't know. I'm not saying she could do it well, but she could definitely do it.
Hold on, I might be mistaken. It's either Amanda Bynes or the other crazy chick.
Lindsay Lohan.
There you go, that one. Either way, both of those two, no. I will not have it. I do not want that, because if they're a Barbara, I'm gonna punch a duck.
Whack.
Lindsay Lohan, I don't know. I actually think she would do better than my mediocre opinion of how Amanda Bynes could.
Considering how whiny her voice is, absolutely not. I really hope that they find a very strong woman to play Barbara.
Yeah, well, yes.
Just like Gal Gadot, or Gal Gadot, whatever you want to call her. That was a perfect casting.
It was, but they wouldn't be able to outdo her. If they outdid her, then would totally throw everything off.
I'm not saying to outdo Gal Gadot. I don't think you can.
I don't think you can. Yeah.
I just think you need to pay respect to characters, and so far DC has done a fantastic job with the rebooted series, with being true to those characters. So hopefully whoever they cast, they're like, you need to be a good Batgirl.
Plus, depending how far they take it, she might have to be a good Oracle too.
Yeah, I mean that's something that could possibly be a thing. So, but I don't know. That was Justice League. Coco, buddy, did you see Coco?
No, people have been telling me to watch it.
Oh my god, dude, you're Mexican. Please, for the love of God, go watch it. Dude,
it's like that's your selling point. Are you Mexican? Yes. Watch the fucking movie.
Dude, I'm not even
go
joking.
See it.
It is every stereotype done in a very classy way. It is done in a very respectful way. It is done in a way that you can definitely relate to everything. It hit me hard just because
the certain aspects in the movie.
Yeah, it's like loved ones are gone, and for people who don't know, one of my biggest fears is like being forgotten. Like that is like my number one like greatest fear ever. And there's a sequence that revolves around remembering, and man, it like punched me in the gut. It like tore my eyes out, and I was just like, it just. Please go watch Coco. It is a very important representation of Mexican Americans. I think it is an important way to showcase why our culture respects the dead so much, and hopefully it can teach other people. Do I want to say cultural appropriation? Is that what I want to say?
And you don't want them to. Well, you want them to practice it, not appreciate it.
Yeah. I just just respect the way that a culture practices certain things. Is all I'm saying. But yeah, please go watch Coco, and the music is fantastic. The cast is awesome. Also, if you prefer to watch stuff in Spanish, there's an entire Spanish version of it.
I saw that.
Yeah, it's freaking awesome.
That actually
even the
makes
music.
more sense.
Yeah, it's fantastic. You guys just please go watch the movie.
Now, because of that, I almost wish. I know it would have done nowhere near as well. I don't even know how well it's done actually. But it would have done not as well as that if they had released it in Spanish with subtitles.
I think they did.
Appropriate for the movie, but I don't know if that would have gone over well with
certain theaters
audiences.
I think certain theaters had specific Spanish-only viewings of Coco.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Let me see. I'm going to look this up real quick. Coco. So Coco's total domestic growth is $193 million.
Holy shit.
Is that good compared to their spending?
I'm sorry, what?
Is that good compared to their the cost of the movie?
Production budget? Their budget isn't available currently. But dude, their foreign intake was $398 million.
Good.
So this movie made $500 million.
That's good.
That is insane.
That's really good.
That is fantastic. But talking about, crazy movies and all that jazz. The Last Jedi. Man.
Okay.
What a movie. Yeah? Just what a movie.
This is the part where I bow out because I haven't seen it yet.
So, I'm not going to spoil anything because Lauren hasn't seen it yet. But if you guys...
I mean, you have.
What?
I you have spoiled it already because I asked you to.
Oh, right. Well then, do you mind if it's just...
No, go nuts. That's why I said I'm bowing out. You guys can go nuts.
if you guys want to read my review, it's up on the site. It's under the movie reviews tab. And it hits the major points that I had with the movie.
Yeah.
Positive and negative. Because it is a polarizing film. And it's not just a polarizing Star Wars film. It's just a polarizing film in general. Which is good and bad. Like, it's weird because it hits this weird middle area where it's like it doesn't lean either way.
It's just there.
Yeah, which I'm not sure if it was done purposely, because I feel like it wasn't done purposely. Like, I feel like they kind of just threw certain things together and hoped for the best type of thing.
Yeah.
And it's just, Episode 7 kind of established the humor of what I thought the new trilogy was going to be about. Like, Poe has a couple of one-liners, and you're like, okay, he's obviously going to be the funny one. And Poe's first joke in this movie just feels really dirty in the sense of it just didn't feel right. Because there is a way to do a joke, and when your punchline goes for a little too long, you kind of lose your audience. And I felt like that's the way this movie opened. Like, this movie opened with a joke, and it kind of lasted too long for my taste. And because of that, I was immediately thrown aback by the rest of the film, because I'm like, this doesn't feel smooth. Like, it doesn't feel like a smooth story. It felt like it was making fun of itself in a weird way. And, like, that's how it starts. So, majority of the movie, I thought was pretty. It's a Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
It's not a bad movie, but it's it's not a great movie. And I see a lot of people comparing this to, the
prequels.
Well, no. I see a lot of people comparing this movie and praising it as if it's Empire Strikes Back. Which is insane to me, because Empire is actually my second favorite movie. And that has a lot of great aspects in it. A lot of great storytelling, a lot of great moments, just in film in general. And this movie had great moments, but that's all it really had. It wasn't a great overall story.
Yeah.
And certain characters just didn't feel thought out. Certain characters I didn't care about. There were certain deaths that were just like, eh? Like, alright, that happened.
My thing going into the film was like, I was expecting like some kind of like gritty, dark story. I was just like, oh, that's what I was expecting. And then it's just like, eh.
Yeah, like, I feel like this had a lot of potential for that grit, which I feel like this specific Star Wars would have done really well with, considering, the amount of loss that is through the film. And even with, like, the previous one, like, the amount of negative things that are going on. And it's just, I don't know, it makes me sad because I feel like they could have done so much better as a prequel to 7. Because I felt like 7 was a good middle point with everyone. I thought J.J. Abrams did a good job with hitting the nostalgia points while still introducing new characters with new tropes and kind of continuing the legacy of what everyone loves. And this one just felt so broken everywhere because this movie is a direct sequel to 7, which doesn't actually happen in Star Wars film. There's never a direct sequel. And what I mean by direct sequel, I mean the timeline of stuff that's happening in Star Wars universe has never been immediate. And this happens immediate, which just feels wrong. It taints my soul.
Weird.
Like, I was honestly curious to see if they even had a beginning scroll. Like, I honestly thought they weren't going to do a scroll for episode 8 because with the rumors saying that this is going to be exactly after 7, I didn't feel I couldn't comprehend why they would have a scroll. And even the scroll, I was just like, so they were hidden, but all of a sudden they were found out of nowhere with no explanation, and now the entire Rebel base is gone? Like, there's a lot of broken pieces that just didn't make sense to me, and that's the reason why this movie, I think I gave it like a 6 or 7 out of 10. Because it was there was a spectacle. There was a lot of great shots. There's a lot of great moments.
Yeah.
And also, this movie's just too long, man. 2 hours and 31 minutes is the runtime. And you feel like you go nowhere.
Yeah. I know a lot of things that went kind of viral for that film was Adam Driver's scene where he's like shirtless. That shit was fucking hilarious.
Those memes are funny. And honestly, like, I don't think it was a bad scene. Like, I know people are making fun of him. I understand the attraction to Adam Driver. I myself am not attracted to Adam Driver. I think he's a pretty boy, but like kind of like the pretty-esque. The memes are funny.
Yeah. I didn't really care for Benicio del Toro's character.
Oh man, I
didn't care for it. He's a good actor. He's a good actor.
He's a fantastic actor. But he was he was such an ex machina character in that entire movie. Because it's like, hey, there's this person that we need. Nope, you're going to jail. Okay. Hey, we found a new person that we need. It's like, okay, I can understand sometimes storytelling. You're like, all right, they get thrown in a new place, they find someone else. Perfectly fine with that. He's a smuggler, and then there's this weird twist with him that doesn't really make sense because there's no real motivation anywhere. And with the way that the what are they called? The New Empire. What's it called?
The New Order.
The New Order. First Order. The way that the First Order operates is like, if you're working with the rebels, we are going to kill you and or like make you do certain things. He's working with the rebels, but then, like, I don't know. It's just his entire thing just made no sense.
He got paid. That was his main thing. Is like his main trope was cash or credits, and he got paid for it. It was like, welcome.
Yeah, it's just it's weird. I mean, there's a lot of lack of motivation for characters. That's the problem.
Yes.
I mean, yeah. If the problem is also that he wasn't killed just because he was associated with them. I mean, there's always those people that straddle the line because they benefit both sides.
Right,
Becca's dealers,
and they talked about
that sort of
they
thing.
talked about
Yeah.
that. They talk about that, which is
Okay,
great.
good.
Like I loved that. Like, and again, like Buddy's saying, like he's such a fantastic actor. Like those specific scenes, I'm just like, yes, give me more of this. And then it's like the next 2 scenes in, it's like, well, you know,
But of course, there are a few scenes I did enjoy, such as, well, you may disagree with me, but I did like Finn and Phasma's little scene. I'll call it a spaz, like a little. What do they call it? Not necessarily a fight. It was more like a lover's quarrel.
right?
It was.
She's like scum, rebel scum. I felt like that was such fan service though.
It was. You have to admit it was. It was just like, oh my god.
You know, I thought it was good for Finn's character to have that, like, not redemption.
Closure.
Yeah, closure. That's a better way to say it. I don't know, man. I got nothing. And people are saying that she's alive, and honestly, I don't want her to be. Like,
I don't think she is. I do not think she is.
The way that her helmet's broken, the ship that she was on exploded,
and it was already going in half. That thing.
Yeah, it's just, and which is a shame because that girl, she plays Lady Bra. What? I can't remember. Babe, what's her name? Lady Knight.
Lady Knight.
Yeah, what's her name?
Brienne of Tarth.
Yeah, that chick.
Okay.
Fantastic actress. She has like 3 minutes of screen time, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
if that. And I feel like that's such a shame because she's such a fantastic actress.
That was nice, and I did wanted to see a little bit more for the love interest with Finn, and I forget her name.
Oh, Rose.
Rose. I thought it was so good, but there was times where it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I really liked where they were going with that romance.
Mm-hmm.
One of the scenes that really upset me regarding them is she goes and saves Finn towards the climax of the film.
Yeah.
And they have this really sweet moment
Mm-hmm.
met by an immediate, like, haha. Like, not in a good way. It's like their moment is completely taken away by something else in the film, and it's like, that feels dirty. Like, that right there felt dirty. Because you
they lightened the mood during a scene when it didn't need it, sort of thing.
Yes.
But like it wasn't like there was a beat and then it happened. It was like, I love you, boom. And it's like you take away from development like that, and that's why I felt this movie felt so dirty, just nasty.
But I did rather enjoy his showing his true power. Luke.
Oh my fucking god!
I was like, yes.
So let's end this talk of Star Wars on the awesome parts of this movie, dude. The fucking chamber with Snoke. Holy crap!
That was trippy.
Entire scene is awesome.
It's great.
Seeing Kylo manipulating Snoke the way he did was fantastic. Seeing Rey and Kylo Ren fighting together was awesome. And then, I do have to say there's one thing in that entire sequence that doesn't make sense. There's a sequence where Kylo Ren is saying, we need to destroy everything. We need to make everything new. You know, just wipe everything because this is going to be a continuous cycle that happens over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Awesome monologue. Immediately met by, join me so we can rule the entire galaxy. Totally defeats the purpose of the sentence that happened right before.
Exactly.
So, contradictions. Anyway, fucking Luke Skywalker, dude. Luke Skywalker. So, I know there's a lot of fans that are upset because, you know, Luke Skywalker is in...
majority of the franchise.
Nope. He's in exile. He exiled
himself.
Yes,
he exiled himself.
Because of what happens in the film, which is explained. And you can understand why he's bitter, he's upset with himself, he believes that, you know...
Basically a hermit.
Exactly. And the whole, like, honestly, the whole idea of this movie is, like, hope. Which I love because, you know...
There's also then a, the, 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 a line you can kind of draw then between him and Obi-Wan.
No, absolutely, there absolutely is.
Oh yeah,
but not even just Obi-Wan. You can also have that parallel with Yoda because that same thing, the exact same thing, happened to Yoda in Episode 3, where he had a disciple, and his disciple destroyed the entire Jedi Order.
And had to exile himself.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people forget about that. Because of The New Hope, people immediately think that Obi-Wan is his Jedi Master, which is actually incorrect, because he's just old Ben to him, and through The New Hope is just their colleague as they go by. In Episode 5, that's when Luke actually goes to train to be a Jedi, and Yoda happens to be his master. Master? So it was really cool seeing, his master coming back to, tell Luke, this is an important individual, you need to help this individual. And there's a very poetic scene between Yoda and Luke about, their predecessor? No, their... What's the one that's after you?
The opposite of I don't know.
I'm looking at it. Keep talking.
So it's essentially just saying, your... the person that you teach will eventually surpass you.
It's successor.
Successor, there you go. Wow, that was horrible. Essentially, your successor will become stronger than you, and that is the burden of a master. And that was so goddamn good. Plus, it expands on the fact that the Jedi is a religion, which is the first time it's ever been uttered in a Star Wars film, which is really cool. And
because they only ever mention it as an order, they never mentioned it as a religion.
Right, because the prequels had it in a very political sense, but this was more of a religious sense, and it felt organic, and that's what I loved about it.
Yeah.
But talking about Luke's powers, I was so excited.
Oh my God.
As someone who fell in love with the original trilogy and just thought Luke Skywalker was a badass, because my favorite movie is Return of the Jedi. And I know people are like, nothing happens in Return of the Jedi. He goes to the ship and just stands there, and his dad kills him. He doesn't even kill him. Yes, but that beginning sequence when fucking Luke Skywalker jumps down and he lifts himself up and he grabs his lightsaber in the air and he just smacks someone in the face. It's like, that's badass. That's a Jedi. Let me at it.
Mm-hmm.
But to finally see how strong he has become, to see him essentially become one with the Force, because he does at the end of it, is so awesome. And seeing how Luke Skywalker can project a younger version of himself on a planet, on a different planet. On a different planet. He can astral project himself on a different fucking planet. What the fuck?
Talk about a huge fucking Jedi mind trick.
Wah!
It's just like,
honestly, dude, I knew what it was when I saw it, because
the saber.
Yeah, well, it wasn't even just the saber. It's like his footprints aren't there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a scene with him and Leia where he says, "I'll always be with you," and then he kisses her forehead, and then she has the revelation of that he's not really there, and you can see that. It's awesome. It's framed perfectly. Again, just this movie has perfect parts, and it's it's almost a good movie.
The only thing I will admit, because I don't know if I've either forgotten about it or I have to rewatch the films, was the dice that he took from the Falcon.
So, from my understanding, it's not a reference in the original trilogy, but I think it is in the new comic books that they've been releasing since before Episode 7 came out. So I'm pretty sure that's where it comes from. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure, because if you guys don't know, Marvel Comics, since before Episode 7 came out, has been publishing stories of the original trilogy, doing various things. So there's a Darth Vader comic, there's a Han Solo comic, there's I think it's a Princess Leia comic, and it just tells the stories that are happening in between episodes and stuff like that. So I'm not entirely sure if it's in the original ones, but we'll have to find out.
So what's the dice specifically then?
Well, it's supposed to be Han's dice that were in the Millennium Falcon. So there's a scene in the movie where Luke steps into the Millennium Falcon, has like a nostalgia moment. And then like he grabs the dice from it's like you know, like you hang shit from a mirror type of thing. So he grabs the dice from there, and then they reoccur at the very end of the film. But they're not really there. Spoiler. But which is really kind of cool because after the rebels escape, Kylo Ren finds the dice and he picks them up, and it's during the same time where like Luke becomes one with the Force and everything, and those fade as well. So it's very what's the word? It shows that Kylo Ren has now kind of left his family aside, because according to him, he still believes that his mother is dead. Which is going to be interesting in Episode 9, considering that at the end of this episode, Princess Leia is still alive, so I'm curious to see how they're going to amend that in Episode 9. But yeah, there's a lot to talk about. Star Wars is a thing. Let us know in the comment section what you guys thought of Star Wars. You guys don't need to sign up for our website. You guys can just comment with your Facebook stuff. But yeah, that was a movie. But oh my god, The Greatest Fucking Showman.
The Greatest Showman was the greatest movie I've seen in a very long time.
I cannot put into words how beautiful this movie is. It is by far the most beautiful movie I have ever seen. And I don't care if you guys think I'm crazy, it is absolutely insane. For those For those who don't know, The Greatest Showman is a very liberal take on the origins of P.T. Barnum.
And the circus industry in general.
Yes, well, the entertainment industry in general. He was...
The showman.
Yeah, he was the showman. You guys should definitely look into him. His story is insane. The movie, again, takes a lot of liberties with his origins and a lot of different things, but I feel like they really drive certain points that are very important, especially now that we're in this weird... We're in a weird time where progression is seen as bad, and being conservative is also bad, and it's like this weird... And I know it's a thing with every generation, but considering that we're further advanced than we were, 40 years ago, we're in this really weird transitional period, and people don't know what to do. But this movie kind of brings you a lot...
Addresses that.
Yeah. It has a great combination of classic with modern. Like going to your roots while still trying to expand on something new. There's so much going on.
It covers oppression. It covers classism, racism. It's insane if you really look into those, or if you're really feeling those plot lines. But just in general, God, it's fun.
Oh God, yes.
From the moment the movie starts, you're swept up in the fun of going to the circus.
Absolutely.
And then obviously there's personal storylines. You feel like you're fighting against the main character, even though you're also rooting for him, which is amazing. And I mean, who doesn't love Hugh Jackman?
Oh God,
he's such a convincing. What are they called? Ringleader.
He's so charismatic.
Yes, are they called ringleader when they're the leader?
I thought ringleaders were only for the animals. I'm pretty sure it is.
I don't know. No, I mean I don't know, but that's just the only name I can think of. But he sells it well, and the whole idea is that he's selling himself in order to run with this idea of the circus, which wasn't. I love that they addressed that it was coined during the movie, the term circus.
So,
at the first, it's just a show of his.
You're right. So the ringmaster is the master ceremony.
Oh, ringmaster. Okay. Well, I still said ringleader, so it wasn't right anyway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I agree. I think that it's really cool to see that how that was the creation of the circus.
Of the concept we all know. Yeah. And I mean, Zac Efron is a wonderful. What's the word I want when it's like they play off each other?
Supporting character?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, duh. But like, I don't know. They're just he's
dynamic.
Yes, their dynamic is great.
It is awesome. The music in this movie is fantastic. I believe 10 of the songs were composed by the individuals who worked on La La Land. I didn't know that. This movie's been like in production hell, in the sense of Hugh Jackman's been trying to get this movie made for like 7 years. It had multiple scripts. They obviously had to edit stuff out, different takes on it. And one of my favorite things about this film is Hugh Jackman really wanted to drive home getting a specific director, and this director, this is his movie debut. This is the very first feature-length film that he has ever directed.
He did bloody brilliantly then.
Prior to this, he just did commercials in Australia. He was just a commercial director. I can't remember what stuff he did or for who, but I think it was like 20 years he was a director doing commercials. And this is his first feature-length film, and by God, is this movie beautiful. It is beautiful.
That also explains a conversation that I overheard at the movies then, because I was sitting next to a mother and daughter, and they were discussing whether or not Hugh Jackman directed the movie. And they ended up deciding no, he didn't, but that he must have had a big hand in it. That makes more sense now.
He absolutely had a huge hand in this. This is, according to him, watching various interviews and stuff, it's been something that he's been wanting to do, again, for like 7 years.
I feel like this is a role made for him, clearly, because it's about him. But
absolutely,
this is everything that he is good at in one movie.
It is. Well, there hasn't been an original movie musical in a long time.
Yeah,
an original movie musical. It has been a very long time since that's happened. And
they usually pull them from Broadway.
Yeah, and just. For reference,
yes. Where are you going with this?
What is the?
What is what? Finish a sentence.
What is the movie with doe, a deer, a female deer?
Sound of Music.
Sound of Music.
Yeah, like Sound of Music. All right, so Sound of Music was an original movie musical. So like that's why I'm just like I'm trying to give you
an idea of time, how long it's taken.
Yeah,
at least the jumps between how often things are made.
Exactly, and it's not often. It's not often at all, which is a shame. But this movie,
God, the music.
It's so damn good. The lyrics in the music is fantastic. The cinematography in this fucking movie is insane. It captures beauty for what it is. Like, it is capturing the moment as things are happening. It's capturing movement. It is showcasing the beauty of movement. I also one of my favorite things, and it's the smallest nothing in the scheme of the whole movie, is so one of the main songs is The Greatest Show, and they always play it while there is a performance in the circus. And the line, "This is the greatest show," is always sung by the audience. And I freaking love that, because all it shows, it always pans to the audience, showing them enjoying the circus. And you're literally yelling at the performers, "This is the greatest show." And it's such a small nothing, but I love it. I think that's so... There's a lot of small details that they've done that make this movie fantastic. One of my favorite things, I picked it up on the second time, is that specific song. The beginning of the song, so the full length of the song you can listen to on iTunes, whatever.
Any media that you prefer. Yes.
Well, what is really, really cool that I find in this movie is the beginning of the movie has the very first half of that song, and the very end of the movie has the last part of the song. It is beautiful. Because it is telling you that you are going on to see the greatest show, and dear fucking God, are they right?
Yeah, it's like leading you through the movie. It's with one song to the next. Yeah. Oh, sorry, to the next, back to the first song in a way.
It's fantastic. Everyone in this movie, fantastic acting, so damn good.
Gotcha.
do yourselves a favor, please, please, please go watch this movie. I feel like this is a very important movie for aspiring artists, for aspiring people in general. I think it is a good message to say it is okay to be different. It is okay to have a different color skin. It is okay to be a little more masculine than you are. It is okay to be a little more feminine than you are. People are going to love you if they truly know who you are. So please, please, do yourselves a favor and watch this movie.
You will leave feeling like you can take on the world.
Absolutely.
There's no doubt about it. And if you cry, don't worry, I did too.
So that means Buddy's gonna cry.
Buddy, do it.
I already know, because the White House, certain people have told me, it's like, you're gonna cry. I was like, I'm already gonna bring fucking tissues, Jesus.
Yeah. I brought a hanky because I'm old school.
But yeah, so that's essentially a recap of what's been going on the last 3 months for us. It sounds like there hasn't really been much, but honestly, there has been.
I mean, we're also trying to think of what we've done for 3 months.
Yeah,
so,
it's a very different thing. But
I mean, we did the 24-hour live stream, but we could talk about that.
Oh my god,
we can talk about
extra. So thank you everybody who are still around listening. Thank you everyone for helping us participate in Extra Life 2017. I think in total we raised $780 as total. For those who had donated $50 for our campaign last year, you guys were entered in a drawing, and I will be sending out those 2 paintings that we did. I'm keeping 1 painting for us as a group, that way we can kind of remember that night. Yeah. But thank you guys so much. We're going to be doing it again this year. It's going to be a yearly charity event. I learned a lot producing the show this year. This past year. So this year is going to be, there's going to be changes. There's going to be things that are going to be a lot better scheduled and stuff like that. So just look forward to November of this year for another Extra Life. We had a lot of fun. There was a lot of disgusting things that happened at like 2 a.m.
There were 4 people in a cage.
There were 4 people in a cage. That was insane. Robbie got trashed.
Oh yeah, he did.
He was gone.
A lot of people got pretty drunk.
Oh yeah, for the kids though. For the kids. But yeah,
I jumped into a very cold pool.
You did. You did the Trapper Shuffle.
And I was very surprised that Jonathan, sorry, joined with me. Yeah, I was very surprised.
That was a cool moment.
My brother.
I get it. Cool.
But yeah, so and unfortunately, guys, we don't have the archive footage of this past year for Extra Life. But next year, we're gonna make sure that the videos are available for you guys right after. That way, you guys can catch up if you guys missed anything. We're probably gonna do another painting segment like we did this year, just that we can, just kind of spread the artistry around. And honestly, the paintings didn't come out too bad. Considering that there was like 6 of us working on one picture, they came out decently.
And we may or may not have been inebriated.
Jasmine, oh my god, you could totally tell. You could totally tell on our big one. Hold on, I'm gonna move the.
Yeah, you could really tell.
Like you can't really tell, but like on the far corner over here, it's like it just looks like someone just grabbed a brush and just went like that. It's pretty funny. But yeah, so Extra Life was awesome this year. Thank you guys so much for donating. There is a possibility that we're going to be doing a mid-year stream for another type of charity. I can't guarantee anything yet, but there is a possibility that we're going to be doing that. I have to talk to my team to see what we're going to be doing. So, but yeah, so that was awesome. We apologize for the lateness of the podcast, but now tech-wise, we're up and ready to move forward with a couple of fun stuff. So
new year, new podcast.
New year, new podcast, new content coming out for you guys. We're excited. I'm excited. I think it's gonna be a good year.
More D&D.
Yes, there is gonna be more D&D. Our Dungeons and Dragons stream is actually moving. It's no longer gonna be a weekly thing, just because weekly it gets kind of difficult to schedule for everyone. So it's gonna.
Sorry, I should have said more DVD asterisk, less D&D.
So our D&D streams are going to be the first and third Friday of every month, And I know that this year the weeks are kind of wonky. So there will be some weeks where a Friday will land on a certain time. Like I believe there's 2 months that actually have like 5 weeks, like 5 Fridays.
Oh, right. Okay.
So we're gonna figure it out. We'll go along, or we'll figure it out as we go along, and we'll keep you guys informed on Facebook, on Twitter, and all that other social media stuff. So. What about you guys? Any last thoughts? Anything you feel like we forgot?
Achievement race.
Yes, achievement race. So for all the people, every people's, we are now going to be doing a monthly achievement race. So if you guys would like to be included in the achievement race, send me a message on my Twitter, on the Facebook page, or even email me from the website. And send me your gamer tags. That way we can add your gamer tags to leaderboards every month.
Yeah, specifically Xbox achievements.
Yes, specifically
Sorry, the
Xbox
PC
achievements. So if you guys do want to join us, please send me your gamer tags. That way we can calculate who has achieved more gamer score in that month. And we're going to be doing a small giveaway. Depending on how well this goes from month to month, we might have something bigger. But we're going to be doing a small giveaway at the end of the month, and the winner will be chosen towards the end. It's going to be the last week of January, but we'll let everybody know on the stream as well as on the Facebook, on our website, and everything like that. So
probably here too.
I'm sorry?
Probably here too on the podcast.
Yes, probably here on the podcast, because the podcast will be weekly. So if you guys have any questions for us, just feel free to ask us some questions. We'll answer them on the podcast, as long as it's appropriate. But the podcast from here on out will be going out weekly. It's going to be posted on Saturday. Every Saturday, you guys are going to have podcasts from us. Yeah. Anything else?
If there's anything else, I'm sure we'll cover it next week.
Yeah. So thank you guys for listening. We really appreciate it. We're excited for 2018. Don't forget to subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts. Make sure to check out our website for our previous podcast episodes. And we will see you guys next week. So, see ya.
Bye.